recorded for training and monitoring purposes. If your call is an emergency, you need to call 999, or in the case of a medical emergency, attend your local accident and emergency department. If your call is related to a physical health need, please call 111 or see your local GP. You can access other services for mental health support. Samaritans can be contacted 24 hours a day on 116 123. Guidelines can be contacted between 12 noon and 12 midnight on 0800 884 884. If you are under the age of 25, between 8 p.m. and 8 a.m, you can contact Night Owls on 0300 200 390. Thank you. Thank you for calling the Bradford District Care NHS Foundation Trust First Response Service. Your call is important to us and will be answered by our next available telecoach. Calls may be recorded for training and monitoring purposes. If your call is an emergency, you need to call 999, or in the case of a medical emergency, attend your local accident and emergency department. If your call is related to a physical health need, please call 111 or see your local GP. You can access other services for mental health support. Samaritans can be contacted 24 hours a day on 116 123. Guidelines can be contacted between 12 noon and 12 midnight on 0800 884 884. If you are under the age of 25, between 8 p.m. and 8 a.m, you can contact Night Owls on 0300 200 390. Thank you.
News about Afghanistan at the moment is focusing on whether or not the United States should have withdrawn and whether the withdrawal under Biden has been botched. Evidently, it has been botched. That's why we're witnessing scenes of horror where you see the normally orderly boarding of a plane reduced to a hysterical farrago as a civilization apparently collapses. But I think a more important question is, why were the United States of America in Afghanistan in the first place? If you no longer believe the evidently bogus narratives that countries like America, UK, any colonial power go to war in order to, for some humanitarian imperative in order to help people. We're helping people through war. No one believes that anymore, even if I was making these videos for children, and in a way I am, because I hope children watch them, but I'm also making them for you, my peers, the people that are the same as me, that see the world the same as me, that see through the illusions and the deception, and are trying to understand what's really happening within the limitations, within the control that's placed on information, within the censorship that ordinarily is practiced on massive platforms. But one thing that's difficult to ignore in Afghanistan now, when confronted with its humanitarian disaster, when confronted with the reality of US involvement in a foreign territory when relieved of the idea that countries like, as I say, America, UK, imperial powers, whichever one, I've not got a side, although I have got inbred biases.
Natasha speaking, how can I help?
Good morning. I'm trying to get in touch with Baljet Nota. It's regarding my brother, Mr. Talib Hussain, date of birth 15/9/1960, and my name is Mr. Hussain.
Won't be a second. Just gonna get in touch with Alice for you now.
Okay, thank you.
Just tried Ali's line, she's not picking up at the moment. Would you like me to send the message over to you to give you a call back?
Yes, if you could do, and if you could also now try to get me in touch with Fungi Muchichitiri.
Yeah, won't be a second.
Okay. Would it be possible for me to be put through to Andria, Dr. Dixon's secretary? Okay. Yeah, hi, it's Andrea. Hi, it's Mr. Hussain here regarding my brother Talib Hussain. You are aware that we've had a meeting last week with Dr. Dixon and my brother's been discharged? Oh, did you? Okay, alright, okay. Are you back today? Oh, okay, alright. Well, the purpose of my call was there was a like a discharge meeting on the 17th, and obviously we finally got discharged, and I've not received anything in writing as yet, and neither has Talib the doctor here in Oldham, and I just wanted to know when we will be receiving the discharge letter. The 17th. Okay, but does she not have? I mean, first of all, do you have any record of the discharge meeting taking place on Tuesday the 17th? Or what does it say? Okay, all right, but that was how long does it take to get the discharge letter out? When did she go on leave? Okay, Wednesday the 18th she's gone on leave and she's coming back what date? Tuesday the 24th? Sorry, the 31st? Okay, alright, because ideally, and obviously you've been off yourself, so is that the reason that we've not received any correspondence as yet? Yeah, okay, okay. Okay, well, I also before the meeting, I also sent her an email, and it was basically I've gone through my brother's medical records now because obviously he's moved to Oldham, and one of the things that I learned was that in on the 13th of January 2020, his GP, Dr. Bagh at Faro Medical Centre, had written to Dr. Sami or the City Mental Health team, inquiring about why his patient was admitted and what was his discharge plan. And obviously, I wanted to know because I can't see any response from your team. So, would you be able to advise me if that what the response to that letter was? Yeah.
Hello. The letter's a bit confusing because I've addressed it to Dr. Sammy,
Yes.
and then it says Dear Fungi, and I've sent it to Fungi. It's a bit confusing that.
Yeah, but I mean, Dr. Sami, I think Dr. Sami was the temporary doctor while Dr. Dixon was on a maternity leave, and and
Right.
and obviously the fungi has been the care coordinator.
Right, yeah.
anything. All that I can find after that is a letter from Dr. Sammy that he sent to GP, which was just following an appointment on the 2nd of April.
Yeah, because Dr. Sami of Fungi hadn't responded to that letter.
Well, I can't really see anything. No, not in actual response to that letter, but it could be that sorry, that is somewhere else in the system. I don't know. It's not in the place that we normally keep them all.
Okay, all right. Because obviously, the doctor, I mean, what Dr. Sami wrote in April was not triggered by that letter. What's triggered that letter to the doctor, to the Talib's GP, is obviously an appointment visit in 2020, I think.
Yeah, you see, the discharge letter following his admission to Linfield Mount wouldn't be from us anyway. That would come from Linfield Mount doctors.
But I know, I understand, but obviously when he was at Linfield Mount, he was under the care of Fungi and Dr. Sami.
Yeah, so Linfield Mount should have wrote to Dr. Sammy and Fungi to say this is the discharge letter.
Well,
that's what they should have done, but I can't see anything.
But the Linfield Mount, his doctors at Linfield Mount were Dr. Dixon and Dr. Sami.
Right.
So they were his doctors at Linfield Mount.
I see.
There's no separate doctors at Linfield Mount.
Right, I'm with you. Yeah, I see.
So while my brother was, are you telling me there are different doctors there?
No, I didn't know. I wasn't sure. I know there are a lot of different doctors that do work there.
Yeah. So Dr. Dixon and Dr. Sami were his doctors whilst he was at Linfield Mount, and then he was discharged under Dr. Dixon because she went on maternity leave for the first time in 2019, 2018, and then when she returned in November or December 2018, she then following that she allowed my brother to come home, and then in January 2019, she discharged him into my care.
Yeah.
And then obviously a year later, in January 2020, the doctor is saying, look, I have no record of why he was admitted or why he's been discharged. Or where's the discharge plan? And he's asking that to Fungi as well. And obviously in the meeting on the 17th this last week, I asked Dr. Dixon and Fungi to respond to that letter, or what was their response, and they haven't got back to me as yet.
I see, right.
So can you see?
Until she does the letter, I don't really know.
Do you have access to Dr. Dixon's emails?
No.
Okay, because I sent Dr. Dixon the email asking, just before the hearing. I think the hearing was the meeting was at 12 o'clock on the 17th,
Right.
and I sent her an email at 11:30, I think, or just before the hearing, about half an hour, and the meeting started a lot later. I think it started about 12:20, and when I questioned her about this letter and she's saying I haven't read it. So quite clearly, she's now had an opportunity, and both Fungi have had an opportunity. So I need to know, number one, if there was a response to that GP letter of the 13th of January 2020, and if there was a response, what was that response? And if there wasn't a response, I need to know why there was not a response to the GP letter. So those are the queries regarding that letter. And secondly, I need to obviously have now that he has been discharged, I need to know what his I need a discharge letter and a discharge plan.
Yeah, well, I think she will send that to you when she does the letter. Yeah, and hopefully if you did discuss that with her about the GP letter from the 13th of January, hopefully she'll put, an answer in that or something. I don't know.
Okay, is that
back next week? I can't really.
I mean, I don't know how it works. I mean, she's discharged him. Is it not like an administrative thing now where you need to just send the letters out?
Sorry, for what? Sorry.
I said, obviously the doctor doesn't do the discharge. She's already made the decision to discharge him. She wanted to see him face to face. We had a virtual visit, a virtual session. She's seen him. My brother says he wants to be discharged. So the decision to discharge him has been taken. After that decision, is it not an administrative thing to get everything, all the paperwork done? Surely the Dr. Dixon doesn't do this.
So, yeah, so normally when she discharges, she'll send a letter to the GP,
Will she?
with the outcome.
So will she send a letter, or would you send a letter as her secretary?
Well, she will dictate the letter and I will type it.
Okay.
And then
But
she'd send a copy to Talib as well.
yes.
And then it'll just go to the GP saying discharged, and then I would actually close his case on the system.
Okay. Because as of today, the case is still open, isn't it?
It's still open, yeah, until I do this letter from her.
Okay.
It's just the way we do it, so otherwise I'll get confused myself. So I always do it as I do the letter, you see.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. And in your absence on the 17th, on the 18th, who was in your place?
It was kind of a bit of everybody just helping out, I think.
Oh, okay, all right. So there was no.
I heard it was very, very busy, so I think it were all hands on deck.
Oh, I see. It was all hands on deck. So there was nobody in order to take that discharge letter and send it out and do everything. So they wait for your return, and now we're gonna wait for Dr. Dixon's return.
I don't think she's dictated it, because I can see some letters that the other secretaries have done in my absence, and there isn't one for Talib there, so I don't think she's dictated it as yet.
So the only records on Talib's file that you can see, the last records, are about 2 weeks before the meeting on the 17th. Is that the last entry?
Well, she's put an entry on from the meeting on the 17th.
Oh, has she? Alright, she's put.
And then there's another note on the 18th saying that you rang to speak to Sally.
Yeah. Yeah, the following day, yeah.
Me, and I wasn't here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I rang up the following day. So I rang up the following day to find out when the discharge letter is going to be sent.
Yeah, so until she's back next week, I don't really know. I'm hoping she's back on Tuesday, but she's got a full clinic, so maybe Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday, she might get around to doing the letter, hopefully. Okay,
and she only works Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, and then I'm off next Thursday, Friday as well, but somebody else could type it in my absence.
Okay, all right, but I mean, there's as you know, Andrea, we're quite keen to get him discharged. We've been quite keen to get him discharged from for 2 years now, 2.5 years, because obviously when he was discharged in January. He was discharged in January 2019, and we hoped that would be the end of the discharge. But then I was told that, oh no, there need to be follow-up appointments just in case things go wrong, or so there was that time period for until April 2019, when Dr. Sami came and visited him, and then even then Dr. Sami did not refuse to discharge him and said, no, we want another follow-up visit, and try to keep him on the books. And so we've been trying to get him. I've been trying to get him discharged ever since he came into my care in January 2019, and and as you know, we're no longer in Bradford. We're living now in Oldham, and as a result, we're still not being discharged, and it's just very, very what lengths do we need to go to get discharged?
Well, Mr. Hussain, it's happening now, because she's put a note on anyway saying we agreed that Talib can be discharged, so he's definitely going to be discharged.
Oh, well, that's good. That's encouraging. Well, that's good. I mean, obviously, like I said, we've been begging to get discharged for the last 2.5 years, and I'm sure there's other people that want to get your services, and they due to resourcing, they don't have access to the services which they need, and we don't need your services. We never did, and to be held on like this, there'll be consequences, because obviously this is not right. We've asked for a discharge for 2.5 years, and we can't get discharged. This is ridiculous, and we've had to move cities. And even then, there's been delays. As you know, Andrea, there have been three previous failed attempts at a discharge meeting, which, no explanation has been given.
Yeah.
At the last minute, the doctor was away. At the last minute, there's a change of circumstance. So this meeting on the 17th was, I think, the third attempt.
Yeah.
And so
yeah, it has gone
It's gone on too long, and there needs to be a reasonable explanation of why it's going on like this. And obviously, my presumption is because there's some sort of something ill towards this, or malfeasance or foul play. Because obviously, it's costing us costing us not in financially, but costing us in resources. In order for me to ring up every time and me to liaise with people, and Talib's not getting any services, and he's not been in a position to get any services because you're not discharging him, and as a result of these delays, he's become homeless. As a result of these delays, he's got no, we're living temporarily now at our sister's, couch. What provisions have you made? And it's a direct result of the failure of Dr. Dixson to listen to me when he was discharged. His issue regarding his mental capacity is still not been resolved, and that should have been resolved before his discharge into my care. He was in the care and custody of Lenfield Mount from August 2018 to January 2019. You had plenty of opportunity to establish that he lacks mental capacity. You failed to do so. You failed to establish that he does have mental capacity, and this is causing us problems now.
Yeah, well, he's definitely going to be discharged as soon as I do the letter. I'll just follow my correct procedure, and I will discharge him when I do the letter.
Okay, and you'll be writing to my Talib here in Oldham, and you'll be writing to his GP, and you'll be providing us with a discharge plan.
Yeah, we normally write to GP, and then we'd send a copy to Talib as well.
Okay. Go on.
Sorry, I was going to say you're welcome to ring me back next week. I might know more then when Dr. Dixon's back.
Okay, well, I will do that. You said that Dr. Dixon's back on the 30th. Well, I just want to catch you before you go off as well. You're off from the 1st of September, did you say?
Yeah, so probably ring me Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you ring me Wednesday, sort of afternoon, and then I might have an idea by then.
Okay, alright.
I think Tuesday she's got such a full clinic, I don't think she'll get around to doing any admin work Tuesday.
Okay, that's fine. But when she does get around to it, if she hasn't done so, could she please address the questions raised by the GP on the 13th of January 2020? Do you know that?
I'll mention that to her.
Yeah, because obviously those if it's been addressed, then please provide me with what the response letter was. If not been responded to, then respond to it now. Because we obviously need to know, the GP needs to know, you need to know why my brother was admitted, and I need to know why he was admitted formally, and why he was, and what his discharge plan is.
Yeah, that's fine. I can do that.
Okay, thank you very much, Andria.
All right then.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right. Oh, come on. All fraud.